Well, just give us just a really, really brief, like, what do you do?
So I work with men who struggle with an out of control behavior with pornography, masturbation, and sex, and to help them to regain control so that they can get back on the driver's seat of their life and of the career and of the passion rather than just staying out of control.
Do you think that modern masculinity is built on addiction?
Yeah, I do. It goes back to this, okay? I think addiction, the way I define it, it's a behavior that it's not aligned with your values and you keep doing it anyway, even though you don't really want to do it.
If porn disappeared tomorrow and it was outlawed, no one could ever see any of it, what do you think men would actually have to face in their lives? What are they avoiding?
Well, avoiding the truth, avoiding like what are the skills that they actually need to really build to be the actual man to live in this world. And unfortunately, I think the short term, a lot of men will probably actually face existential crisis. But looking at what the nature of man would do, they will do whatever it takes to get some sort of pornography, because pornography has existed, from like the beginning of the civilization.
Do you think men enjoy being vulnerable?
I think at first, no. Absolutely not. They're scared to death to be.
I think so too. And I just want to point out something that I've talked about before, and that is, I don't think any man on earth wants to be vulnerable, and we keep being told that we need to be vulnerable. And from my experience, a lot of women ask men to be vulnerable, but what women want men to be is not vulnerable. Because women do not want a weak man. What they want is authenticity. Just in society in general, do you think that men are actually on a healing path in general, or do you think that they're just replacing the addiction with another addiction? Do you think guys are actually getting on this healing journey in general, or do you think that they're just replacing it with more socially acceptable addictions?
It goes back to the pockets of social circles that you're around with, and you surround yourself with whoever that you allow to influence you, right? I think what is not good, it's because you're doing it just because someone else is doing it. I also had my own challenges as well in the past, when I was still figuring out who I really am and who I want to be and things like that. And that's okay. Those are the times that you discover, you maybe pick and choose whoever's healthy habits, healthy behavior, or high performing behavior that you aspire to. You can pretty much swipe or steal, from their habits. But the main thing is that you want to do it and collect your own data.
What do you think is the biggest lie that the men's mental health movement is telling right now?
I think the biggest lie is like they try to look for something external rather than internal to justify whatever like they did was okay, or whatever the case is, right? Or whatever mistakes they make, right, in the past, rather than owning up to the mistakes and actually just become better based on the actual standards for yourself, right? And when I say that, it's not just like external. I think those external things is part of us, that's just being a human. But I think it's important to go internally and actually really ask yourself, what are the things that you are attached to and what are the things that you're averse to? Because it goes back to that. It goes back to cravings and aversions. Cravings and aversions and willful ignorance. What are the things that you are willfully ignorant about because of other attachment, because of other aversions?
I love that. And I love just that conversation we had earlier about alignment and making sure that where you're wanting to go and the person you're wanting to become is aligned with the different things you're doing. Not about bad or good, just is it aligned with that? Is watching porn every day going to help me do that? Is working way too hard and being a workaholic going to help me do that? Is drinking a bunch of alcohol going to help me do that? If the answer is yes, great, go for it. If the answer is no, then find what helps you do that. I think that's awesome.
And be honest with yourself. Yeah.
It comes back to like why even as a coach, I have a coach, right? Because sometimes I want to lie to myself. I just do.
Well, absolutely, yeah. Well, because I think, that's also another thing. Why do we laugh to ourselves, right? Why? It's because of our ego. Because it's so painful to admit that, I'm not enough in this part yet. It's okay, So
Yeah,
anyway,
for sure.
Yeah.
Well, man, I appreciate
Thank
the
you for
conversation.
having me.
It's good stuff. Is there anything else that you want to say before we end here?
No. I think just be more aware and be true to yourself and get help when you need it. So
Awesome. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you.